welcome back to my channel. My name is Oumaima, and today's video will be a video in which I will be talking about the most disappointing books I've read in the year of 2022. These books are not necessarily bad books, but they are very disappointing because I expected them to be 5-star reads and they did not turn out that way. So let's get started. The first book I want to talk about is Upgrade by Blake Crouch. Blake Crouch is an author that I discovered in 2016. The first book I read by him is Dark Matter, which I loved so much. It was a favorite book of mine, and it still is. Since then, I've read his Wayward Pine series, and then I read Recursion, and I loved them all very much. So when I heard that this book is coming out, I was so excited for it. I thought it's going to be another 5-star read, another favorite book, but it fell short. It did not go up to my expectations. It ended up being 3 stars. This book basically is about gene editing. Our main character kind of gets genes altered without his consent. I mean, it was enjoyable, but it was not a favorite. The next book that was also quite disappointing is From Lukov with Love by Mariana Zapata. Now, the reason I have hyped up this book so much is just in my head. I have not seen any reviews or anything about it. I just saw it randomly in a bookstore. I didn't buy it, but the cover really attracted me, even though it's very simple. When I looked up the description of the book, and I saw that it's a romance between 2 figure skaters. I like romance, I like figure skating, so I thought this would be an amazing book for me. This would be in my favorites. This is the slowest book I've ever read, probably. In the entire 70 pages that I've read, I did not finish that book, by the way. The entire 70 pages, all that happened is a coach asked our main character if she wants to be a partner of this guy that she apparently hates, and it's supposed to be enemies to lovers. I was okay with it being slow, but if it weren't for the fact that the main character is so annoying, every interaction she has with every female character, she's always judging them. The book felt so childish. It did not feel like an adult romance at all. The next book I'm going to talk about is a book that basically the hype on BookTube has got to me. Even though I know that I don't really read a lot of poetry or any poetry at all, and that is On Earth Will Beauty Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. Earlier this year I read Circe by Madeline Miller and Ariadne by Jennifer Saint, and I loved both of these books so much. I mean, the writing is quite lyrical and quite poetic, so I thought On Earth Will Beauty Gorgeous would be the same, and I would love it as well. I was so bored. There was basically no plot, which I knew before going into it, but I just hoped that it would be like some kind of like Sally Rooney or something. But it was just not captivating at all, and I had no interest in it at all. And the book that is the most disappointing of all of these books, I left it until last because I have a lot to talk about it, and that is Bunny by Mona Awad. I first heard about this book in 2020, I guess, so I've had it in my TBR since then. We're almost in 2023 right now. But every single time I wanted to pick it up, I thought, well, let's just put it down right now because I'm not in the mood. And I knew I was going to love it, so I needed to be in the right mood for it so I can give it the time and the attention and enjoy every single moment of it. Because what I knew this would be 5 stars. Like, I knew this would be my favorite. I knew I would love it so much. So when I picked it up earlier last month, I was so disappointed. This was the worst book I've ever read in this entire year. I know this sounds harsh, and I was hoping it would go in one direction, but it went in completely the other direction. When we introduced this book, we're seeing our main character Samantha and her friend judging these girls who call each other bunnies and who are hyper feminine. They're always like in a tight-knit group. I was hoping that that's how the book started, and then after they invite her to the smart salon and they get to know her, she gets to know them. She basically kind of gets rid of her internalized misogyny, but that doesn't happen. Our Samantha in the beginning of the book is the exact same one in the end of this book, and nothing happened in this book. Nothing good happened. I mean, these are all the books that I have read these are all the books that were really disappointing, and I'm glad there's not that many. And let me know what books you have read that you thought would be favorites but then ended up being disappointing for you. And as always, see you next time. Bye.